Hello, everybody. It is Jason from Con+3, and I'm here today with two people from probably our youngest sponsor because they have literally been a thing for about 4 or 5 weeks now. So we have Callum and Charlotte from Rattlecake Inc. Hello to the both of you.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
So, Rattlecake is quite an unconventional name in my opinion. I would have never thought, that the two words going together to make a dice company. So tell us how you came up with the name Rattlecake Inc.
So Charlotte and I, we're engaged now, but we actually met playing our first D&D game, which was some point last year. And my character was a changeling gunslinger, so with a really high charisma. So obviously I was doing a lot of talking. And we came across a group of guards, and the party was probably about 5 feet behind me. And they asked me a question, and of course, a stupid voice comes out. And I was like, "Oh, I'm Jonathan Rattlecake." And you hear the sigh from the group behind him. Oh, he's gotten us killed. But it all played off. And from there, it spiraled into Jonathan Rattlecake and his Rattlecake Empire selling trinkets and mysteries from around the world, which has become our kind of.
And then the name for the group, because Darrow, his character, had this habit of just going in and looking for things to steal at any given opportunity and just talk his way out of the trouble he would inevitably get in. And he went in to an inn somewhere and started stealing all this woman's stuff. And she came up the stairs behind him and was like, "What are you doing?" "That's my stuff." And he was like, "Oh yes, we're the Trinket Pirates." So it became Jonathan Rattlecake plus Trinket Pirates being the party name. So we've just sort of it's a very strange campaign. But yeah, not without it's funny.
Yeah.
No, it sounds
So
brilliant.
that's the name.
Yeah, almost like a band in one way.
Yeah.
But also, it kind of gave off a thing with me. Have you heard of Monkey Island and Stan
Yeah.
from Monkey Island series?
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Just turning up every now and again, trying to get him to buy stuff, changing his mind. We don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very much a snake oil salesman, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so essentially onto the business then. So as I said, you only launched literally a few weeks ago, and it kind of coincided, I believe, with around the time we went into lockdown in the UK, or maybe just before. Was there like a particular reason why you decided to launch the business at that time, and did you have any sort of specific goals in mind, like trying to do stuff during the lockdown, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of stuff, like you said, it all coincided and it all kind of coalesced at the same point. So we'd been making dice for a little while beforehand, but it was just for us and just for our friends and family and that kind of stuff. And we were just experimenting and having fun with what we could do, but we'd always wanted to just put them out there. We didn't really have massive, big world scoping plans for it, but we wanted to be able to share what we love doing with other people. Then when the lockdown hit, we were just obviously you couldn't really go out, you couldn't really do much. So we were afforded finally this massive amount of time to really focus and nail down what we were doing. And then we really had the option to kind of start our business.
And we're both actors. We're used to being freelance and just if there's no work, you better make some work.
Yeah.
Whether that's sort of theatre stuff or I make costumes and other things. So I'm always trying to sort of, if there's no work around and no one will employ me, I'd best find something that I can then develop into a business. So it just sort of made a lot of sense because where we normally work and sort of we're there semi-regularly, that all shut down because obviously all the theatres and everything else shut down. So we were sort of left with why not? We've got all this time. We've got all the materials, save for a few bits and bobs. So yeah, that was it really.
And D&D for us and tabletop gaming has been a real help. We've both had kind of mental health experiences.
Yeah.
I've got well, I've only recently started talking about it, but I've got a nerve sheath tumor on my spine, so it puts me in pretty much daily pain, which when you've got D&D, it's something to look forward to. It's something to kind of bring your world to life, outside of work. and you, of course, Donna.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it was really a case of, well, everyone's going through a massive stress at the moment. It's the kind of thing that when you get like a character custom set of dice, it brings a little bit of happiness. So we wanted to kind of give out some of what we found in making dice.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really awesome. So how do you actually make your dice? I'm always interested with sort of small businesses making everything from scratch, and they are very pretty.
Well, it's sort of you need a few things, but this has to come with a massive safety warning because
it's sacrifices. Human sacrifices.
No, it's not. Because there's a few places that are like forums for people who do dice as a hobby, but all of what I'm about to tell you comes with the massive caveat of please, please, please do not do anything unless you have an organic vapor filter mask and gloves. And if you're going to use a pressure pot, get it a proper pressure pot. People have tried making them out of stuff like PVC pipe. Please do not do that. That is a pipe bomb. And no, please no.
Okay, you heard them. Don't do it.
Yeah, like do it, but follow
safely.
Follow safety is the thing. Okay. So what we start off with silicone. We've not got any right here, but they turn up these little molds like this. So you put a dice in. We have normally like little shot glasses with something called a sprue, which is we use like a little toothpick sometimes, and you rest your dice using a glue gun. You rest the dice on top of the toothpick, then you glue the toothpick to the bottom of the shot glass, and then you fill it up with silicone, and you pressurize it to get rid of all the bubbles, and it comes out like this. And I don't know whether I can show you on the inside. This is a D20 mold that you'll be able to see.
Oh, yeah.
This is the first mold we ever made. So she's an old lady retired mold now. She's been used for many dice, and her time has now come to its end. So you have to make the molds. Then you cut down very, very carefully down the sides, and then you mix your resin depending on what type of resin you have. I won't go into all the boringness of pot life and gelation time, and that's all the boring thing. But then you mix the resin. You add whatever pigments, colors, inclusions. You can put like we're trying to do a set that has like little dried flowers for my druid.
Oh, okay.
Trying to do something like that. So whatever you like to put in it, we put gold leaf in a few sets and things like that. And then you fill the molds, and then you put them back in the pressure pot. You pressurize them to get rid of all the bubbles, and then you have to wait for however long your resin takes to cure. So, and then this is all very, very, very dull at the end of it, but then you take them out, and what you're left with is the dice, a little piece of resin, and the blob of glue on the end. So you have to then, using something sharp, take the sprue off very carefully without damaging the surface of the dice, and then you have to polish them until they look like glass. Like, you don't have to polish them, but we polish ours because we think they look prettier that way. But it involves sitting there with infinitesimally small grain sandpaper, like micron grain sandpaper, and doing thousands of tiny little circles on each face of every single dice.
If our D4s don't get flagged as potential weapons through customs, I'm not happy.
Yeah, they're essentially caltrops at this point.
Well, yeah. Move over Lego, like D4s are more comfortable.
I think we've got a sharp one. Hang on. This is a hazard right here. Like, I don't know whether this is going to show up. It's super pointy. So yeah, please don't stand on our dice. They will hurt, definitely.
Brilliant. One thing as well that you say on your Etsy site, or like your main shop, is that it's kind of like, you know, Gollum with the ring and his link to that, and you talk about that with the character or the player with these dice. So I know that you mentioned a little bit about you like to put stuff in like gold leaf, but tell us what makes your dice so precious as opposed to, say, all the other bazillion companies out there that also make dice.
Well, I mean, it's something that I I've always liked doing stuff with my hands, and I've always like with costumes and prop making, and it's always very, I think, because you don't need a lot of money to play D&D. Like, obviously you can spend lots of money to play D&D if that's what brings you joy, then you do it. But that you don't even need dice to play D&D. You can use a random number generator, and you can use various free resources for like battle maps and stuff. But I think for me, as an experience, D&D is very non-tech for me. Like, when I first started playing D&D, I was so surprised because I came to it a bit late. Like, I didn't grow up playing it or anything. And I was so surprised because I was like, I haven't looked at my phone, and it's been like 7 hours for a one. It just completely baffled me. So I was like, actually, this is really nice to just have a completely non-tech thing of, here is something really, really beautiful that somebody has actually like thought about your character and made, and it's all done with like love and passion, and then because people spend so long playing their characters, and it's a labor of love from both sides, really.
Yeah.
So when that character is finally sort of, either they go out in a blaze of glory or whatever, you can then keep that dice as a reminder of that thing that you made, and that experience that you had, the friends that you made, and all of that, and all the silly adventures of pretending to be Jonathan Rattlecake.
I think because the character commissions that we do and that we've been doing recently, it's not that we wouldn't do other dice as well. It's just when we work with you on a character, it's really kind of a joint venture. You tell us exactly what your character's about, and then we hit you back with some ideas, and then we'll give you pictures of the process, see what you like, what you don't like, what kind of direction you want to take it in. So by the end, it's you've gotten character custom dice from us, but you've kind of crafted it yourself, which I think is something nice. Instead of just seeing, and it's not to knock anyone else, but instead of just buying kind of good looking dice, this is something that you've really had a hand in how it's come to fruition.
That's the thing that I enjoy the most. But the plan is at some point, we've sort of got very, very busy in a very short space of time. So we're just trying to get all of that sort of sorted. But once things sort of settle a little bit, and we've got the sort of production line rolling, we are going to do like a few collections of dice that are just really gorgeous, nice dice, but aren't character specific, and then we'll just put them up on the Etsy shop and see how well they sell. And obviously, if there's demand for more of them, then we'll do more, and we'll just keep experimenting. We've got loads and loads of new pigments coming in, which we're very excited about. So.
Plus the dice is kind of just the beginning for us as well. There's a lot of stuff that we're working up into, but we're taking our time with it. Sure. So I do D&D content as well, like adventures and worlds and maps and that kind of stuff, which I already kind of put out in a different entity. But obviously you do dice bags and prop making and all kinds of crazy stuff.
The plan is eventually for me to do, I've got to wait until all the fabric shops open again, but I want to do like cloaks and cowls and like LARP accessories and stuff like that. Is my that would be cool. Nice. I think. Yeah.
Very awesome. I am still here, by the way.
Cool. Yeah, I was just thinking. He's turned into streaks. He's gone. Run!
No, I don't know why. You've mostly been fine, but my camera for some reason is lagging like hell, and I don't know why. But at least it's very, very small. It's all about you, so don't worry. But I am still here. Okay, great. But sticking with the dice for the moment. I know you said you want to kind of make new collections, which is fantastic. Are you also thinking about, say, making slightly more unconventional dice, like D30s, D100s, something like that? Not D100s, like the big D100 balls or something like that.
Yeah. I think if someone wants it, yeah, definitely. I mean, we've got so we do obviously the regular 7-set polyhedral, but we've also got our own designs as well of just like that, unconventional designs of standard dice as well. So D4s shaped like daggers and stuff like that. Oh, cool. So again, you can kind of really.
Yeah, we're working with one of our friends who's an amazing. He makes props and he's a 3D artist. So we're working with him.
He actually worked on Doctor Who.
Did he? I didn't know that. But anyway, so we're going to we're in conversations with him to sort of look at like, right, okay, let's see just the maddest, weirdest things that we can come up with. Like, I quite fancy a set of dice that looks like genuine like crystals, like crystalline shapes, where they're all like long and jagged and stuff. So yeah, it's just the thing for us is that we look at, so because unusually shaped dice, there are a few people who do them that are around, but they're all very intricate and they're normally cast in metal. And they have like a lot of detail, and I'm just looking at it going like, oh God, I've got to sand that. How am I going to do that?
Yeah.
But I think doing like alternative shapes for stuff is quite, like, I know for some reason there's a lot of hate towards D4s, and I don't know why. People don't like them.
Because you can't pick them up. You're
like
dexterous, but I've got gorilla hands. It's a nightmare to pick up.
So people have been doing like D12s, but that have 1 to 4 3 times over, so they look like a D12 and you roll them. But we're getting new master dice commissioned and made by somebody in Finland, I think. And but it's like a teardrop D4, so it's got like a curved bottom, and you like spin it, and it whatever side. So that's quite a cool idea.
Yeah, I think as long as experimentation to be done, we'll experiment. We'll do different things. If people want D30s and that kind of stuff, like, I mean, there's always a use for a DM to have it with your roll tables. So yeah.
No, you're just evil and want more things to throw at us.
If I can give her a D100 to sand, perfect.
You're also a big fan of random encounter tables.
Oh, I love them. Yeah.
Bullet. There you go.
Brilliant. So then, kind of final question then from me. So if each of you had your own D20 made by Rattlecake himself, what would it look like?
Ooh, well.
As long as it didn't explode, that'd be a good start.
Yes. Ignoring all the potential snake oil. Yeah. I think we're trying. It's sort of in development at the moment, but it involves getting a core, a little glass hollow ball with like just a tiny opening at the top, and you can fill it with like people use glycerol solution, but you can do it like a swirling glitter, but I do it like a holographic glitter to do like a little spinning galaxy inside a dice. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I think if I were to get something that really embodied the kind of Rattlecake name and Rattlecake Empire, you know, in Harry Potter, I forget what they're called, the pictures that kind of move a little bit with someone's photograph.
Oh, yeah.
I think something like that with his face, twirly moustache and all, kind of laughing to himself.
We should get one of those,
brilliant.
you know, the D2s, the like coin countery thing.
Yeah.
We should get one of those that spins, you know, like the bird in the cage from BioShock. But with him like doing a thumbs up or something.
Oh no, I've just realised he's like the Monopoly man. That's what I've created.
Yeah, just a little bit, yeah.
Oh, man. Well, may he long continue anyway, but thanks to both of you for coming on to talk to me today, and thank you so much for coming on as sponsor or sponsors, you want to count both of you, for this year. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very
really
much.
love being part of it, so thank you for having us.
Yeah, and good luck with the competition.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Charlotte. I'm from Rattlecake Inc, and this is the lovely Callum.
Hello.
We're thrilled to be sponsoring Con+3 this year and to help with the Butterfly Project. And thank you so much if you've donated already. And if you haven't, there's still time. So get your skates on.
Please donate, because the Butterfly Project is really changing lives and bringing help to the people that need it. Just a little donation can really go a long way into supporting somebody. So
yeah, you might even get yourself some cool dice.